Polymer Clay TV this week, and we're going to talk to you about these awesome bezels that are part of this month's kit. So I'm going to be using one of these, and part of the digital download that we're offering with the kit this month. These are downloadable and printed on magic transfer paper. So I'm going to use this little butterfly right here, but first I'm going to show you a trick for making something fit in a bezel like this. This is sort of a flatter bezel, and I don't have a cookie cutter that exactly fits that space. So what I'm going to do is going to be a little different and interesting. I'm going to set this to the side because I need to be able to peel this up. So I'm going to press this bezel. I'm going to choose a side. Choose this side because it's the back. I'm going to press the clay into it gently. I'm not trying to get it stuck or anything. I'm just trying to get the outline on the back like that. And then I'm going to use my blade to trim it a little bit because I don't need all the extra clay. So I'm just going to trim it up so that it's pretty close, but not all the way trimmed to the shape, because I'm going to use scissors for the rest, because I'm going to be cutting the magic transfer paper and the bezel at almost the same time. So I'm just going to cut out my little butterfly. And then I'm going to press it on here gently and flip this over. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually cut the clay and the paper at the same time to fit the shape of that bezel. In case you want to know, these are Tim Holtz scissors by Tonic, but you don't have to use something like that. You could just use regular scissors. I'm just gonna round out the shape a little bit and stick it to my tile so that I can finish sort of burnishing the paper onto the shape. Which I'm gonna then go take under my sink to get the magic transfer paper off. My bezel has been baked for about 5 minutes just to set it up a little bit. And what I want to do now is do any last sort of touches to get it to fit in the space here. So we're gonna, now that it's firmer, use the scissors to make the edges rounder. Take down any rough spots. And just work on it so that it's nice and fitting in your bezel. Almost. I've just got a couple little points on the edges here. They're preventing it from setting in there. Okay, perfect. Now, I'd like to put a shiny coating on this, so I'm going to use my favorite thing, which is Kato clay. So that's this. It's Kato liquid poly clay. And so just pour a little out. You can also use Fimo gel, but I would not use translucent liquid Sculpey for this because it tends to be too thick and too milky in appearance when it's cured. It won't be translucent like this will, so that you can see through it. The translucent liquid Sculpey, although it is translucent, it is not as transparent as the other two types of liquid clay, which would be the Kato or the Fimo gel. So I'm just spreading this out with a brush that I have dedicated to liquid clay, because once you get liquid clay on it, you're not going to get it out. And I'm just spreading it out and then let it level for a second, and then I'm going to go put it back in the oven, and then I'll show you how I'm going to finish this off. First, let's get the bezel ready, and this is some really fun stuff right here. Okay, this is patina. It's vintage patina by Ranger for all metals. It also works on polymer clay and lots of other stuff. It has a shaker ball, so make sure you shake it up good, and the only tools I'm going to need are a Q-tip and a nail polish file that I got at the dollar store, and it's going to work great. So this paint dries real fast, so you have to work quickly. Basically, I'm going to just grab my Q-tip and get it in all the cracks. Even do the back if you want. And the sides. Make sure you pay attention to the sides and backs of your pieces. I think I'm going to leave that brass. You'll see why in a minute. Alright, and then we're just going to let it dry. If you use a crafting sheet like this, this will peel right off when it's dry later. It's dry. It takes about 5 minutes to really dry well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and run it across the front here, because what that will do is take that patina back off the brass parts and make them shine again. So that the paint is just left in the cracks. And you can sand it a little or a lot. It's all up to you. You might want it to look kind of aged, so you don't sand it so much. Whatever you decide. It's your art. The good thing about these things is that they are like a polishing block, so you can really get a nice high shine. So now my bezel has some color to it. It's not this plain old boring kind anymore. Although this is pretty, and if you wanted to do something vintage, I shouldn't say it's boring. But to me, this is going to go better with my pendant than this. So that was just these couple of things. Okay, the final step here is assembly. So I have my finished clay piece and my finished pendant, and I'm going to use Gorilla Glue, which is, it's hard to say it. It's one of those cyanoacrylate, I don't know, acetate something, super glue, okay? I don't know how to say it. But I'm going to put a couple drops of this because with the super glues, less is more. The way these glues work is in the absence of air. So if you put a little in there and then you squeeze all the air out, it works better and it holds together better. So you just want to apply pressure for about 30 seconds. Make sure that it's really tight down in there and coming in contact with your glue. And then you've got gorgeous pendant that you can string on something, and this you can string on something pretty thick because the holes are rather large, so you're not just stuck with a thin piece of string or whatever. You could put leather through there or a ribbon, lots of different things. So enjoy, have a great time. This month's kit comes with 2 of these so that you can experiment. You can create along with us and make the same exact thing, or you can let your imagination run wild. So we hope that you will join us at polymerclaytv.com and in our community, Polymer Clay Adventure. We will see you next week.